My hair good. Just took a shower. It's all right. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I don't have much to say in the beginning besides that I got a new phone. It is the 16 Pro Max with that camera button on the side. And I used to have a 13 Pro Max, so it's very different for me because I was used to the flip on the side of the phone, but now it's that action button. I'm also not used to that. Also, the dynamic island up there, I didn't have that on the 13. So it is a completely different phone from what at least I'm used to. It's the same but different. So, I mean, I've had it for a couple days now. I'm happy with it. I mean, it's in the Desert Titanium color, and it's very similar to the rose gold iPhone 8 I had. That was like my first phone, my first actual phone. So it's a funny full circle moment. Anyway, enough of me yapping. We're gonna go right into the posters for today. So to start here, we have the poster called Lost in Thought. And here we have a black background with white text. This text being, just to get it out of the way, a Quantico typeface. I believe I found that like 3 years ago at this point, of course. On Free Faces, I believe the site is called. I found them there, and I used it in the poster here. And here we see a silhouette of a woman that leads up into the sky, the night sky. And I wanted to make it reminiscent of maybe you'd be sitting in a place with not so much light pollution, either like you're camping or like you're out in the middle of a field, and you get to see like the stars and even just like the definitions of parts of the universe that you would never be able to actually see. And it's absolutely beautiful to see. Because I actually took a trip to Colorado in like 8th grade, and I got to see something very similar with just like absolutely zero light pollution. And by God, I want to do that again. Anyway, the colors here were actually chosen from my inspiration pieces. But to start, we're going to look at the main one with this lady being served different pleasures, such as like smoking and drinking. But here her head is being replaced by a record, and the record has the Milky Way or just some planets on it. And it looks like it's being observed at from Earth, because I think these are trees looking up into the sky. And I thought that was cool, so I decided to use mainly the sun with the mountain. I brought 2 images into here just so I could look at it and decide which one I kind of wanted. And I decided that the mountain was a better fit for at least this pose, which happens to be here with Marceline. And at the time I was watching Adventure Time, so I decided to use her as my female lead for the poster. And I have her, I thought this was a great pose of her looking up as if she was looking into her hair. I added the extension up here so we could get a little more swoop up into the sky so we can get more detail being shown. The main colors here, or at least of the sun, were chosen from this background here, just having a really nice red gradient happening as if the sun were setting, and then having the kind of grayish blue there being the colors of this background and the mountain here. I then, I did also think of doing a more mountainous and like more alien landscape, but I thought that wouldn't really fit too well because I wanted to more ground it within like our planet. So I decided to use these images as inspiration for the night sky, having like these gradients on the planets translate over here into these gradients, even to the shooting stars having a gradient too. I kind of use that, and having the 4 pointed stars here as just like a puckered square. I made it super easy, having that lighter purple go into that deeper purple. I kind of chose from these 2 images to get that color that I thought looked really nice, especially transitioning from this lighter to this darker, and just getting that vibe all together came out to be something I really liked. Having to even make sure that I made the light source look like it was coming from the sun. I know it's not perfect, but at least it's coming from the bottom and not like the top or anything. I ended up liking this poster. I remember having a decent amount of time with this, like a couple hours to actually do this. And like I just said, at the time I was watching Adventure Time, so it was kind of on my mind that I already wanted to use someone from Adventure Time, and I thought Marceline was a great inspiration to actually use in this poster, as part of her character is wondering if she even has a place in the world. So I thought it'd be nice if the poster was also called Lost in Thought, because that's what I thought of when I was making this. So with all the colors and the imagery kind of coming together, having this really nice swoop with the hair leading back into Lost in Thought, which then leads you right back into the image, I am very happy with this poster. But I don't want to spend too much time here because we have more to look at. So let's go do that. Again, a really good one from year one. Now this one is called The Fall of Icarus. With Icarus falling through what is seemingly like that porthole of clouds. And I'll get into where I kind of got that inspiration from in a second. But we have the saying on the side called Icarus laughed as he fell and the world heard the drums of his liberation. And I happened to get this Drums of Liberation from One Piece, as when Luffy went Gear 5, that's how it was described. As the drums of liberation were sounding through his heartbeat and everyone could hear it. I thought this was very reminiscent of someone who wanted true freedom, and when he got it, he was struck down for it, so all he could do was laugh as he fell. And I thought that was really cool, at least for how I kind of interpreted the connections of it. And with everything coming together, we have the Tame Impala poster that I used for those clouds and that porthole, using that nice turquoise color to act as the frame, kind of like they already have here. And in my screenshot, I did happen to take this white border, and I thought to just keep that and use it as an artificial border here. And at least in my opinion, it worked out pretty well because it adds a nice frame to this really striking red that I have. I forgot to mention in the video, but just above me was not Icarus. It was actually Lucifer when he was falling after being banished from heaven. So yeah, anyway. I really liked it. The typeface for this, it looks like it's blank. It might have a little bit of a glitch. That's okay, I'll deal with that later. Anyway, this whole thing coming together, finding that picture of Icarus, throwing it through Photoshop to kind of get rid of that background. Even with the background here, I added grain so that it would kind of match the pixelation of the photo of Icarus here, leaving a small white border to kind of distinguish it from the background. Overall, I really enjoyed making this one, and while it is meant to be vertical, I guess it could be horizontal. I could see it being on its side, but then again, my logo would be on its side, so it's kind of meant to be vertical. That's beside the point. I hope you like this one while we move into our last poster of today's video. Okay, so we have a simple one for the last one. This one is just different colored records, all being the same record, but just the different color with a nice beige background. And this actually came from the inspiration piece of this kind of vintage coffee poster. And I thought, what else could have been vintage at that time? And I immediately thought back to what was the first poster, and the inspiration from that being a record guy. So I decided to go with more records for this one. And this one is kind of more like an accent piece that would help bring out other pieces around it, or at least just fit into a room and not be like a staple piece in a room. I really enjoyed making this. It was very simple, it was easy, it was fast, it didn't stress me out this day, and it actually came up to where I happened to gift this to someone like either that year or the year after, because I just thought it would be a nice little piece for their house. And she did end up displaying it right on her TV stand, and it happened to work with the decor that she had. And I'm glad that I was able to make something that someone could actually have in their house. Now, it wasn't a nice print paper, but I'm glad it worked nonetheless. And down in the corner, of course, the logo. I could probably make this border a little bit stronger just to have it come through a little better. But that is the poster. And with that, that is going to end today's posters and really the video. So I sit here and I ask you if you could please like the video, comment what was your favorite poster of today, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe, as this is a new channel and it would help me out dearly. Now, if you do want to actually head over to my website, I have all of these posters, like I've said before, on there, and you can check out some of my other work, as it's all on there too. I do have some other projects that are in the works at the moment, so those might also show up there eventually. But for now, that's going to be all from me. Again, I thank you for watching, and I love you. Bye-bye.